Welcome back, friends, and get ready to listen as Rupert reads The Adventures of Jerry Muskrat by Thornton W Burgess, chapters 13, 14, and 15. Chapter 13. Old Mr. Buzzard Sees Something. "Wait for me!" cried Little Joe Otter to Billy Mink, but Billy Mink was in too much of a hurry and ran faster. "Wait for me!" cried Jerry Muskrat to Little Joe Otter, but Little Joe was in too much of a hurry and just ran faster. "Wait for me!" cried Grandfather Frog to Jerry Muskrat, but Jerry Muskrat was in too much of a hurry and just walked faster. "Wait for me!" cried Spotty the Turtle to Grandfather Frog, but Grandfather Frog was in too much of a hurry and just jumped faster. So running and walking and jumping and crawling, Billy Mink, Little Joe Otter, Jerry Muskrat, Grandfather Frog, and Spotty the Turtle hurried up the Laughing Brook to try and find out why it laughed no more. And high overhead, in the blue sky, sailed old Mr. Buzzard, and he was also looking for the trouble that had taken away the laugh from the Laughing Brook and the smile from the Smiling Pool. Now, old Mr. Buzzard's eyes are very sharp, and looked down, way up in the blue sky, he could see a great deal. Indeed, old Mr. Buzzard could see all that was going on in the Green Meadows and in the Green Forest. His wings are very broad, and he can sail through the air very swiftly, when he makes up his mind to. Now, as he looked down, he saw that Billy Mink was selfish and wouldn't wait for Little Joe Otter, and Little Joe Otter was selfish and wouldn't wait for Jerry Muskrat, and Jerry Muskrat was selfish and wouldn't wait for Grandfather Frog, and Grandfather Frog was selfish and wouldn't wait for Spotty the Turtle. "I reckon, and I will hurry up right smart and find out what the trouble is myself, and then go back and tell Brer Turtle. It will save him a powerful lot of work, and it will serve Brer Mink right, for Brer Turtle finds out first what is the trouble of the Laughing Brook," said old Mr. Buzzard, and shot far ahead in the Green Forest toward the part of it from which the Laughing Brook comes. In a few minutes he was far ahead of Billy Mink, and as Billy Mink was ahead of Spotty the Turtle. For wings are swifter far than legs, on whatsoever purpose bent, but double swift and tireless, those wings on kindly deed intent. And this is how it happened that old Mr. Buzzard was the first to find out what it was that had stopped the laughing of the Laughing Brook and the smiling of the Smiling Pool. But he was so surprised when he found out that he forgot all about going back to tell Spotty the Turtle. He forgot everything but his own great surprise. And he blinked his eyes a great many times to make sure that he wasn't dreaming. Then he sailed around and around in circles, looking down among the trees of the Green Forest and saying over and over to himself, "Do you ever? No, I never. Do you ever? No, I never." Chapter 14. Spotty the Turtle Keeps Right On Going. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, so. 4 step, 5 steps, 6 steps, go. Keep right on and do your best. Mayhaps you'll win while others rest. Spotty the Turtle said this over to himself every time he felt a little downhearted, as he plodded along the bed of the Laughing Brook, and every time he said it, he felt a little better. 1 step, 2 steps. He kept saying over and over, and each time he said it, he took a step and then another. They were very short steps indeed, for Spotty legs are very short, but each one carried him forward just so much, and he knew that he was just so much nearer the thing he was seeking. Anyways, he hoped he was. You see, if the Laughing Brook would never laugh any more, and the Smiling Pool would never smile any more, there was nothing to do but go down to the big river and live, and no one wanted to do that, especially Grandfather Frog and Spotty the Turtle. Now, Billy Mink could go faster than Little Joe Otter, and Little Joe Otter could go faster than Jerry Muskrat, and Jerry could go faster than Grandfather Frog, and Grandfather Frog could go faster than Spotty the Turtle. And because each one wanted to be the first to find the trouble, no one would wait for the one behind him. So Spotty the Turtle, who has to carry his house with him, was a long, long way behind the others, but he kept right on going. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, so. And he didn't stop for anything. He crawled over sticks and around big stones, and sometimes, when he found a little pool of water, he swam. He always felt better then, because he can swim faster than he can walk. After a long, long time, Spotty the Turtle came to a little pool where the sunshine lay warm and inviting. There, in the middle of it, on a mossy stone, sat Grandfather Frog fast asleep. He had thought that he was so far ahead of Spotty that he could safely rest his tired legs. Spotty wanted to climb right up beside him and take a nap too, but he didn't. He just grinned to himself and kept right on going. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, so. While Grandfather Frog slept on. By and by, after a long, long time, Spotty came to another little pool, and who should he see but Jerry Muskrat, busily opening and eating some freshwater clams, which he had found there. He was so busy enjoying himself that he didn't see Spotty, and Spotty didn't say a word, but kept right on going, although the sight of Jerry Muskrat's feast had made him dreadfully hungry. By and by, after a long, long time, he came to a third little pool with a high, smooth bank, and who should he see but Little Joe Otter, who had made a slippery slide down the smooth bank and was having a glorious time sliding down into the little pool. Spotty would have liked to just take one slide, but he didn't. He didn't even let Little Joe Otter see him, but kept right on going. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, go. By and by, after a long, long time, he came to a hollow log, and just what happened to peep in, he saw someone curled up fast asleep. Who was it? Why, Billy Mink, to be sure. You see, Billy thought he was so far ahead that he might just well take it easy, and that was what he was doing. Spotty the Turtle didn't wake him. He just kept right on going the same slow way he had come all day. And so, just as jolly round Mr. Sun was going to bed behind the purple hills, Spotty the Turtle found the cause of the trouble of the laughing brook and the smiling pool. Chapter 15. What Spotty the Turtle Found. Spotty the Turtle stared and stared and stared, until it seemed as if his eyes surely would pop out of his funny little head. Of course he couldn't believe his own eyes, and yet, well, if anybody else had seen what he was looking at, and had told him about it, he wouldn't have believed it. No, sir, he wouldn't have believed it. You see, he couldn't have believed it because it didn't seem as if it could be really and truly so. He wondered if the sun shining in his eyes made him think he saw more than he really did. So he carefully changed his position. It made no difference. Then Spotty was sure that what he saw was real, and that he found the cause of the trouble of the laughing brook, which had made it stop laughing and the smiling pool stop smiling. Spotty the Turtle was feeling pretty good. In fact, Spotty was feeling very good indeed, because he had been the first to find out what was the matter with the laughing brook. At least, he thought he was the first, and he was of all the little people who lived in the smiling pool. Only old Mr. Buzzard had been before him, and he didn't count because his wings are broad, and all he had to do was sail over the green forest and look down. The ones who really counted were Billy Mink, Little Joe Otter, and Jerry Muskrat, and Grandfather Frog. Billy Mink had stopped for a nap, Little Joe Otter had stopped to play, Jerry Muskrat had stopped to eat, Grandfather Frog had stopped for a sun nap. But Spotty the Turtle had kept right on going, and now here he was, the first one to find the cause of the trouble in the laughing brook. Do you wonder that he felt proud and very happy? Keeping at it, that's the way Spotty won the race that day. But now Spotty was beginning to wish that some of the others would hurry up. He wanted to know what they thought. He wanted to talk it all over. It was such a surprising thing that he could make neither head nor tails of it himself, and he wondered what the others would say. And now the long black shadows were creeping through the green forest, and if they didn't get there pretty soon, they would have to wait until the next day. So Spotty the Turtle found a good place to spend the night, and then he sat down and watched and waited. Right before him was a thing which had found its way and was puzzling him so. What was it? Why, it was a wall. Yes, sir. It was just what it was, a wall of logs and sticks and mud, and it was right across the Laughing Brook, where the banks were steep and narrow. Of course, the Laughing Brook could laugh no longer. There couldn't enough water get through the wall of logs and sticks and mud to even make the beginning of a laugh. Spotty wondered what lay behind the wall, and who had built it, and what for, and a lot of other things. And he was still wondering when he fell asleep. And that's the end of today's read, and if you liked what you heard, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you.